And back to the phones we go with Jerome in Salem, Oregon. Hi, Jerome.
Hi, Kim. Thank you for taking my call so very much.
You betcha.
Kim, my mom took a fall, and she has been recuperating, but she's kind of she's a fall risk right now, and all the places that she's been to for care and therapies and so forth, she had an on-body device that let somebody know that she needed help or anything if nobody was immediately present.
So that this way she could press a button on it?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Now, I've heard and looked at various things. Some, you might wear as a pendant. Others, like a wristwatch, or
right.
that wears like a smart watch or something to that effect. And also have another question regarding communications. But what are pros and cons between a pendant and having a wrist device? Do you know?
My concern is always, this is mom and dad, right? We don't want anything to happen to them. I'm also a big proponent of not just these type of devices, but having constant communication with video as well. And, we're not saying that we're going to put a camera in mom's bedroom, right?
Okay.
But in her living area, that you want to be able to see, to check in on her. And then she can say, hi, how you doing, Jerome? I'm doing great today. And you can say, hey, Mom, how are you? I don't see you. And then she can come in and say hello, and you can see her face, right?
So neat.
So those type of cameras, they exist. And what's also nice is that when motion is detected in these cameras is that you actually get, you get a text message. You can also get an email, whichever one you want. And then it actually shows you the clip. So,
really?
Yeah, it's actually really cool stuff. And so Nest makes them, and they're like $150. And to install it, let me tell you what you need to do to install it. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. You take it out of the box. You plug
so far,
it.
So good.
Okay. You plug it in.
Can do.
You put the Nest app on your phone, and then you go to your phone and you hold your phone over the QR code on the camera, and it says connected.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Because I did that recently. I was like, gosh, I so remember like 15 years ago, be like, oh God, there's a conflict, and you'd have to like put it on a different network, a different device. I mean, it was just a nightmare. But now literally that's all. So that's the first thing I would put in just keeping track and making sure that she's all good, right?
Very good.
The second thing is, as you mentioned, with the items like the Life Alert system, is that you actually have to push a button, right?
Right.
What if you can't push the button?
I thought of that a little bit. Gee whiz, what happened? So I thought maybe something with an inertia type switch in it or something like that.
Yes, and so that's where you have, we've all seen those Life Alert, commercials, right? Help, help, I can't get up, that whole thing.
That's the one.
All right, okay, but there's actually a better product now. It's Philips Lifeline. And I would definitely look at that product over Life Alert because it has an automatic fall detection, because it has an accelerometer built right into it. So if the device actually makes a jarring movement, is that you would be notified, or 911 could be notified. And then it also has two-way communications. It also can monitor her medications too. So if she doesn't take all of her meds, that you would actually know. I mean, a lot of good things built into this. Also GPS, and so you could see where she is on a map. Now, it's either in a watch or a pendant. And so whichever one you get for her, it's whatever you think she might like, obviously. It's more expensive than Life Alert, but if you're going to go to this step, and Mom already fell once, right?
Correct.
And so, we don't want anything to happen to her again. But it's, these are really, really great devices, as long as, do you think she's willing to wear it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I apologize, I didn't catch the name of the second one.
Oh, it's Philips Lifeline is the one that I recommend.
Oh, okay. Philips, like the light bulb, et cetera,
Yes.
the electronics company?
Exactly, and it's called Lifeline. When you go to their website, Jerome, is that they have a questionnaire. Take the 10 minutes and go through the questionnaire, because it will say, is GPS tracking important to you? Yes or no? Do you need fire detection as well? Yes, so you go through all these different questions.
Right.
And so this way it kind of narrows you down into, they actually have 3 different products. And it ranges in price anything from, say, $20 a month to, I don't know, $55 or $60 a month, depending upon all the features that you want. But, when you're talking about mom and dad safety, you can't really put a price on that. After all, think of all the nights, she took care of us, right? And so it's like,
For sure.
All right, we definitely need to do that. So does that answer your question?
Yes, one side of it. The other side is she wants a phone. And the house is all internet wired and Wi-Fi and so forth. Would an UMA phone be a good idea? Not meaning to drop names, but
no, that's okay.
We do that here. And is there something that might be advantageous besides a landline, which can be kind of costly? Is there a good thing for an elderly person to have?
Well, what is the purpose of the phone?
Calling me, just saying hi, calling friends, saying hi, checking if prescriptions are ready, etc. She's very lucid and super sharp person, just not very mobile.
And so why don't you get her like a Galaxy or an older iPhone?
She's not really excited about the smartphone side of it is the problem, but maybe I can swing her that way. Can they have in large numbers? I'm not familiar with them that much.
You also have you have the phones that do have enlarged numbers, like Jitterbug. I'm sure you've seen that. That's a phone that's geared for somebody who has macular degeneration or something like that. As a matter of fact, people over the age of 65 are the fastest growing segment of smartphone users right now.
Wow.
Because I think that they sat back and they said, you know what, that's something for the kids and the grandkids. But what's nice about it is that because the kids and the grandkids are on it, is that now they're able to take full advantage of it. And then they start texting. I see this with my own mother. They're texting back and forth with their grandchildren. They're Skyping with their great-grandchildren or doing FaceTime. And if you want to check on meds, she doesn't have to call Walgreens or CVS. She can just fire up the Walgreens app. And it's all so simple to use. I mean, it's not a big deal. And now because it's a touch screen, and there's also bigger screens, is that, you can just pinch to make it bigger or make it smaller. But I think instead of just limiting her to just, VoIP calls, I would encourage you to expand the horizons, because then there's also additional tools for you. So you can be texting her back and forth, right?
Right.
You can just send her a heart, and then she can say to her, whenever I send you a heart, we don't need to have this long conversation, but if you want to, we can, but just send me a thumbs up and I know that everything's all good.
Very good.
And so that's where I'd like to see, to help your mom, is to put her in that place. And what's also terrific, because sometimes to get her into all this, put some games on the phone. Put Solitaire, put Bejeweled or Candy Crush or one of those crazy games like that. Just make sure you tell her that, some levels cost money and we don't want to go into debt for that. If you have any other questions, Jerome, just give me a call back. I'm happy to lend a hand to you and also your family.